Yo, what's happening, boys and girls? How the devil are we? It's your old pal Shanksy, and welcome to my roster reviews, where we take a look at your, well, maybe not your, but someone's roster, and we compare it, see what they're working on, give you an idea on comparison on what you might be working on, what you can expect to be at that stage, and basically any advice that I can give to help streamline or help basically grow your roster in any way, shape or form. So thank you for stopping by, thank you for checking out the video. If you do want your roster reviewed, watch until the end, drop me a message on Discord, links are down below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Now, I'll put my hands up, there is a queue on this service, there's a few people already in the queue, but I will do my best to get through absolutely everyone. It's totally free of charge. If you do want to skip the queue, we can talk, but other than that, get in touch with me on Discord and we will go from there. But without further ado, let's get into today's roster. Yo, what's good? So today's roster review is a real special one, guys. It is a 1 year look at Mr. Thick Nury's roster. Literally 365 days played today. Well, the day that he sent me these pictures, which was late last night. Thick Nury, he has in 1 year spent around 150 euros. In that time, he's amassed a collection power of 3.2 million, with his strongest team being 300k. He's been War MVP 3 times. He's got 119 of the characters collected, with 21 of them at max rank, and his all-time arena rank is 21, with his current arena rank being 26th. His current arena team is looking like Ultron, Minerva, Juggernaut, Magneto, and of course Phoenix herself. Now, it's really interesting that he sent me a couple of the problems that he's been having as well, and one of those is actually running out of training mats. Now, I can't understand it. I've never seemed to have enough gold to run out of training mats. What I would definitely look at straight away is the training mat event that comes around every couple of days. Make sure you're doing that at the highest tier. Other than that, just when you're farming out, even like the blues and the green training mats still seem to carry a lot of weight. So I've never personally had the gold to start running out of training mats. But you guys, if you have, watching the video, please let me know if A, you've encountered this problem, and B, what did you do to fix it? How did that work out? So without further ado, let's have a little look at the roster and see what we can see. So we've got Black Panther favorited there at 59k. We've got American Chavez there, also being worked on at 49k. Really nice, both level 70. Agent Coulson at 44k and level 71. I would definitely recommend taking up Agent Coulson as high as humanly possible. We all know what it's like burning through those weird water defenses and whatnot. And then towards the tail end, you've all run out of X-Men teams and there's still another Coulson and you're like, ah! And you just seem to like burn attacks on it. Now, when the Coulson 40-50k, you can normally get around a Brotherhood team on it. So getting your Coulson as high as possible, making that team scary, is well worth the investment. Scientist Supreme's there at 41k, 35k for Doctor Strange. Vision is behind me at 33k favorited. Falcon at 22k, Nobu at 21, Hand Assassin at 19, and then we've got Aim Assaulter there as well. Now, personally, I would definitely recommend working on Falcon, working on Scientist Supreme. You guys know I'm a massive advocate for Tech Wing. Falcon is one of those characters that is easily droppable. Scientist Supreme is not. Scientist Supreme definitely needs some loving. I'm even going to be looking at taking mine up to level 75. Just for all them debuffs and everything like that. I feel like she's absolutely huge. Right, so then we're going to the top of the shop of the roster, and we're going to be looking at Miss Marvel there at 64k. That is going to be a big brawlers team, guys. Look at that, 64k on Miss Marvel. Spider-Man at 62. Captain Marvel at 57. American Chavez was further back at 49. It's going to be a big old brawlers team. I like it a lot. Daredevil is there at 58. Shield Security's there at 57, with Punisher behind me at 57, Iron Fist at 57, Jessica Jones at 53. So we already know we're definitely going to be seeing like a 250 to 280k Brotherhood team. We've got Juggernaut there at 51 and Ultron at 50. Again, Ultron is worth taking up to 75, definitely for the arena, without a shadow of doubt. Captain Marvel's worth taking up to 71. As far as the defenders go, even though I love them, I'd leave them at 70. I really would. Jugs is worth taking up to 71 without a shadow of a doubt, especially where he sits within your arena team, without a doubt. Shield Medic is there at 50k, Magneto at 50, Phoenix at 48. She needs to be level 75 without a shadow of a doubt. She's like redonkulously powerful, well worth spending some investment on, and taking her up as high as possible. Even though she's only 6 stars at this point in time, and I know you've got the guys favoured to take her up to 7 stars, she's well worth some loving. Luke Cage at 48k, Nick Fury there at 48 as well. And I've got to be honest, I would have thought your Fury above all people would have been well up there. Rocket Raccoon at 47, Minerva at 47, Star-Lord at 47, Groot at 47, and Thanos there at 45. We then go down to Mr. Miles Morales at 44, Scarlet Witch at 44, Mystique at 43, Loki, Wolverine, Shield Assault behind me at 40, Pyro then at 34, Wolverine at 34, 32 for Kree Cyborg, and 32 for Ronan. So there's a fair jump between Shield Assault at 40 and then Pyro at 34. There's a fair old jump there, and I really do like Pyro. I know you were talking about leveling up the whole of your Brotherhood team. I would go Pyro above Magneto. Magneto type of now fits on the Marauder team, and I wouldn't really worry about him too much, where Pyro I definitely would. So from Ronan we go down to Deadpool at 31. We've got Psylocke there as well, Korath, Mordo, Elsa Bloodstone, we've got Ghost Rider, Kree Royal Guard Colossus at 29, Storm at 28, and Gamora at 28. Now it's worth noting a couple of people now are starting to be higher levels than I would necessarily expect. Shout outs there go to Cyborg at level 62. I think 60 is enough for him. Korath again at level 65. I think 60 is enough for him. Gamora's there at, I believe, 55. I can't see quite clearly on that. And then we go to Crossbones at level 60, 28k. Drax at 25. Mantis at 24. Ravager Boomer at 24, level 60 again. I'm seeing a lot of high Ravager Boomers at the moment. Is something happening that no one's telling me about? Like, what's going on with these Ravagers at the moment, guys? Like, the last 3 roster reviews that I've done, we've had ginormous Ravager Boomers. Like, I need to go find out this information. What's everyone working on him for? I don't know. Kree Oracle there at 60, 24k. Shield Assault there at 23k, with Yondu at 22, Rescue at 22, Kingpin at 22, and Kree Noble at 21. We then move further down the line. We've got the Merc Riot Guard, War Machine at 21. I really think War Machine needs a lot more loving. He's 6 stars, level 60. Definitely could do with some work there, without a shadow of a doubt. Kree Ravager there at 21. Invisible Woman at 21, Iron Man at 20. We've got Nebula there at 20 as well. Hand Sorceress, Thor, Black Widow, and Shield Operative at 20. I've got to be honest, it does take an extra second to work out who it is just by the picture when the names are different. You're like, whoa, that throws me a little bit. No, nothing major, but it does take a second. We got Quake there at level 50 at 20k. We've got Hulk there at level 50 at 20k. We've got Handblade Master there at 18.6, Shuri at 18.3, Koye at 18, Captain America 18, Hawkeye at 17, Hela at 17, Shocker at 17, and Cable. Then we go a little bit further down the line. We've got Vulture at 17, Merc Lieutenant at 16.9. Again, all quite high levels, 55s, 50s, things like that. And I feel like maybe targeted assaults might be a stronger way to overall work on your roster. You know, bringing up characters to a certain amount of level is all well and good, but is it a waste of gold? Is it a waste of training mats? Is it a waste of almost focus farming. You know, focus farming, working on one team. Since I've been working on one team at a time, my overall roster has gone up dramatically, and the increase on what I can do with those teams has gone up dramatically. You know, a lot more teams are winning at 8.3 in the Blitz. A lot more teams are being able to punch up in war and do a lot more damage in war, things like that. So I would definitely recommend, instead of just bringing up everyone to like level 50, level 55, whatever, bringing them up to 30. You know, then if you're working on them, then look at them from there. But don't necessarily set a level 60, level 70 milestone. It really depends who we're working on, why we're working on them, and where they fit in on your particular roster. You know, red stars make a big difference as well. So if you get an insane red star, then you want to start working towards that. Maybe the team's not that good, but you know, with that crazy red star, the team's going to be pretty damn awesome. It all changes things retrospectively. So we're going down to Heimdall there at 14.7. 4 red stars on Heimdall, very nice indeed. We got Human Torch at 14, The Thing at 14, Green Goblin at 14.6 as well, getting ready to take up to 6-star. Hand Archer, Ant-Man at 14, Sif at 3 red stars at 13.9, Night Nurse, Electra, and Barco, and Mr. Fantastic. Then we go a little bit further down to the bottom of the shop, and we have got exactly who you'd expect to see down there. All the Mercs, all the Hydras, no surprise there whatsoever. And Ultimus has not yet been unlocked. Now, let me just scroll back up real quick. I want to have a quick look at that Wolverine. I would have thought by this stage that Ultimus would have been unlocked about a year in, but it all depends who you're farming, how lucky you get on orbs and stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily worry about Ultimus not being unlocked. So, yeah, again, bottom of the roster, a lot of the bottom of 30, 33s, and then we start seeing 45 for Ravager Stitcher. And in my opinion, I don't know, unless you're using him, it's a waste of levels, you know, it's a waste of levels. What do you maybe use him on your first rotation of Blitz? Maybe. Other than that, it's not really worth putting the thing. Like, what? When you're working on a character, what do you want that character to do for you? A, raids, arena. B, war. C, Blitz. If he doesn't fall in those categories, why work on him at all? You know, yes, it's nice to show a little bit of extra total collection power, as it were, but total collection power doesn't really help out in the grand scheme of things. It all depends on what teams you're using. You know, that's where, you know, if you've got a 200k Hydra team and that's your lowest team, then that's still going to be doing decent damage even in Blitz. Well, I don't know about 8.3, but it's still going to be doing decent damage. But if it's just the sake of an extra 1,000 or 2,000, it's not really worth it in my opinion. But that being said, let's have a little look at the save squads. So, top of the shop, no surprises whatsoever. It is that beastly Brawlers team at 279. I really, really like the Brawlers team. And I really like who you put in there as well. Miles in there makes a great deal of sense. If that type of slot is like Miles or Deadpool or Gamora, you know, totally makes a lot of sense with who you've got in there. Then we go down to the 274 Defenders team. I keep on forgetting them every now and again. 274 Defenders team, perfect layout for them in my opinion, with Daredevil next to Luke Cage. Then we go down to the Coulson team, and again, exactly who you want to see in that Coulson team. 241k overall with a war boost. I'm guessing that's probably going to be about 270k, 280k or something like that. That's a pretty decent Coulson team. Again, if you can get Coulson up a little bit higher, I definitely would. But again, he's probably only going to fall within like war and at that war defense. So depending on how much of your resources you want to put towards that is totally down to you. Depends how hard your alliance goes on war and things like that. Then we go down to the old BKT. We got Star-Lord next to Rocket, Thanos in the middle. Absolutely perfect layout for them in my opinion. Then we go down to the Brotherhood, and you have kept the Brotherhood team together. So have I for the Blitz. I've put my hands up. So that makes a great deal of sense to me. We then move down to the Ultron team, where we're using Deadpool, Gamora, Scientist Supreme, and Loki. I actually really like Loki with Ultron for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's that turn 2, hide everyone. It really works, man. It really works. And, you know, in Blitz, for example, Ultron is going to carry 90% of the time regardless. So it's about just getting rid of those extra points. I might be looking at putting Scientist Supreme with the AIM team, but depending on how big the AIM team are. Scientist Supreme, being a healer, being a support character, even though she can be so much higher than the rest of them, she's probably the only healer that I would really have higher than the rest of my team because of just how awesome she is. Then we go down to the X-Men. We've got 41k there for Wolverine. We've got 48k on Phoenix. And this is where we start seeing a fairly big jump on the team. And I would think Storm for the X-Men team, in my opinion, is absolutely amazing. She is well worth working on. Colossus, you can't really do much to. Wolverine, I wouldn't take up any higher. Psylocke, I wouldn't worry about gearing any higher. But Storm, I would definitely look at bringing up for the whole benefit of that team. Storm's amazing. She also fits really well into a lot of Ultimate 7 teams. She does just really well overall. She's a really, really good character and often overlooked in my opinion. Then we go down to the Supernatural team. The whole core of the Supernatural team are there, 172k. And to be honest, it's probably about where my Supernatural team sits. I would definitely work on them, and I would work on them in the order of getting Mordo up a little bit higher, Elsa and Ghost Rider are key. They're just a really good team. Keep them as close together power-wise as possible, but definitely look at bringing them up. Then we look down at the Kree at 151. I wouldn't really worry too much about the Kree team. After you've got Nick Fury at 7 stars, I'd pretty much leave the Kree where they stand. And then we go down to... We've got the Wakandans at 126k with an absolutely massive Black Panther there at 59k. So that's literally half of that team is Black Panther's power. That's going to work really well in blitzes without a doubt, but not so well elsewhere. So out of this team, I would definitely recommend bringing Shuri up. Shuri's also going to fill a lot of shoes on a lot of different teams and going to go really nicely with that Black Panther turn 1 charge. With that charge on Black Panther, he gets that crazy ult on turn 2. It looks pretty damn good to me. This team would probably be my biggest... Let's start working on these guys immediately. Power Armor do incredibly well in war. They do really, really well in punch-ups. Falcon is very, very, very useful on the Tech Wing team. And yeah, that is the team that I would definitely be looking at to bring up. If you could get that team to about 200k, you're going to see massive punch-up abilities within war and things like that. Then we go down to a bit of a mix and match. You know, just throwing a team together makes total sense with who's there. I like Trooper being next to Drax, obviously. Mantis there to heal Drax up. And then the Noble to be next to Ravager to call in that extra turn. And where you're using Korath on that Kree team, it makes total sense. I like the team. Makes sense. Then we're going down to Crossbones at 28. Yondu at 22. Kingpin, Ravager, Boomer, there he is. At least he's being used. At least he's being used at 24. And Hans Sentry at 16. Then we go a little bit further down. We've got basically the core of a hand team with Nebula thrown in. I'm not a massive fan of Nebula. I really do believe she's one of the weakest characters in the game. She's definitely, in my opinion, probably the weakest non-minion in the game. So I wouldn't really worry about bringing her up too much more. Wave 1 defenders there looking pretty good at 95k. And honestly, it's just about bringing these teams up now. You know, you've got everyone unlocked. Who would be my focus, though? And this is going to be a really tough question. Who would be my focus? And where things stand at this point in time, a year into your roster, is going to be who's farmable. You know, it's going to be who's farmable and who's going to make the biggest benefit overall. So who would I be working on? I would be working on my Brotherhood team. Why my Brotherhood team first? Main reason, because 2 of those guys go into your arena team. I wouldn't worry about Sabretooth. I wouldn't worry about Mystique. I would bring up Pyro, however. Basically, that team then later gets split, and it makes a great deal of sense for the Marauders to go together and Pyro to stick with the rest of the Brotherhood. And it gives you a really nice like war defense and war offense team. So I would work on them as high as I possibly can because they're in my arena, and I really like Pyro. I think he's a really great character, right? So that would be my first team that I would try and bring up, and maybe not crazy, maybe bring them up to like 250k, something like that. You're near enough there, you know, it's only 40k to go start focusing on them. Then I would personally go Power Armor. Power Armor would be my next, and as a result of that, bringing up Falcon. Then I would just pretty much, after the Power Armor's done, then I would focus on U7. But you could also do the focusing on U7 by bringing up either AIM as a team or even Wakandans as a team, because you're going to be bringing up Shuri. And then just by working on that tech wing, you're going to start working on people that are on other teams and then bring them up as a result. Where I wouldn't be focusing on too much at this point in time is trying to think with what gear is coming out. So you're going to have basically a choice of either Asgardians or Supernatural with just gear requirements. Pick a team that you like to use. I would go Supernatural for war offense, or if I was thinking more war defense, I'll go Asgardians. Then for bio, you're going to be looking at either Sinister Six or Fantastic Four. Pick a team between them two. At least Sinister Six are farmable and they will help you unlock 2 legendaries. So I would lean towards Sinister Six personally. But yeah, that would be how I would approach it. That's what I would start working on if I were you. Everyone's there. Everyone's in the right direction. Levels might be a little bit high, and as a result of that, gear a little bit low. Maybe rather than spending extra gold on extra levels, maybe put that gear to that gold towards gear from the store, things like that. And I think your overall roster will start to skyrocket really, really quickly, especially because the levels are already there, dude. You know, you've already got the levels in everyone. Now let's gear them up and make them dangerous. Guys, I'm intrigued. What would you do if you took over this roster as of now? If you were in charge of this 3.2 million roster, where would you start working on? What would be your biggest focus? I'd love to know. Please let me know down in the comments below. It not only helps me out, it helps Thick Nury out as well. And as always, guys, if you want to talk to me, you can do so either by leaving a comment down below. I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as possible. Jump in the Discord, link is down below. Drop me a DM or just at me in the Discord, MSF chat. It's getting a little bit busy over there. I love to see it. Or third and finally, you can find me over on my Twitch page where we stream Marvel Strike Force at least 5 days a week. And that is www.twitch.tv/Shanksy. I hope to see you over there, guys. But until next time, you take it easy.